Chris thought it would be a good idea to read from it. According to Toronto historian Edward Reed, the white squirrel, which is called the West End home for almost 20 years, was not a descendant of a traveling circus or even gypsy caravans on vacation from France, but rather a real-life mental health experiment gone terribly wrong. Reed confides that during the mid-70s, the Queen Street Mental Hospital was testing out some really wacky forms of electric shock therapy on everything from lab rats to stray cats that were found on the compound. And Reed confesses that the experiments were so taboo that some doctors even quit over the procedure. We all know what kind of crazy stuff those docs are up to at the old nut house, says the Toronto historian, but this was something out of a science fiction movie. Apparently the lobotomy-type procedure was planning to destroy the brain rather than fix it. In fact, the hypothesis was that by destroying a person's entire memory, you could cure them of their illness. We all know how archaic these guys are, but when these mad scientists decide to increase the voltage charge, all hell broke loose. You would have lab rats running around in circles, not knowing what to do, meowing like cats or lifting their legs to pee. I even heard of one cat that started barking and hopping like a bunny. And even though these animals were dropping like flies, these crazy docs were still planning on trying out the procedure on human beings. How outrageous is that? Some of the people in there were a little depressed, you know, lost their job, their family. To think that they would become part of that experiment is unimaginable. However, an independent investigation by the community eventually shut down the lab and sent the doped-up animals back onto the street. Unfortunately, the only side effect was that you had a group of juiced-up cats and rats running around the Queen Street compound, not having their original identity anymore. Reed believes that this is how the white squirrel was born, and a recent observational study of the animal reveals that its look is somewhere between a rat, a cat, and of course squirrel. When word started spreading that these white squirrels were wandering around the streets, officials started catching them in an attempt to cover up the whole episode. Luckily, some survived. And luck has been on their side ever since, claims Reed. He adds that seeing these furry Frankensteins will bring a week of good luck. In fact, the other animals in the park even seem to respect the first few squirrels that remain. They know what they've been through. That's pretty obvious. Whenever I've seen the little guys, everything seems to work out for me. They're better than a good astrologist.
Sealing up the appies.
Oh my God, what? How old is she? Very nice presentation.
I did this one.
That one?
Yeah.
This is Angela Young, working the door right now.
What?
So can you tell me something about your entry?
It was made under a great deal of stress, but I hope it tastes good.
Aaron Slipkov, judge of the event.
Yes,
one of the three
judging.
judges.
Yeah, hello, Chris. I made no appetizers tonight. I made an effort to prepare myself to judge them, though. So.
I made beef stew and I'm trying to get some bread sliced to sop up the gravy. We've got the stew here, simmering away. That's 12 pounds of sirloin stew beef in there.
All the way from Parkdale, our co-host for the evening and judge, food connoisseur extraordinaire, Trevor Spot. Give the man a hand, come on.
Tell me about this entry that you've brought in. I hear you're planning on taking the first prize.
I don't know if it's going to take first prize, but we'll let the judges decide. It's called Wild Turkey Surprise.